So I had this Facebook memory come up today. You guys know Facebook memories. And it was this quote from 7 years ago that I had posted. And it was just a quote. And it simply said, the only way to grow is by stepping outside of your comfort zone. And I have to be really honest. I go live on Facebook and I go live on Instagram and I do YouTube videos. I go live all the time, but I have never gone live on my personal Facebook page. So I decided that because that post came up today would be a day that I would go live on Facebook and step outside my comfort zone again. But I want to go back to 7 years ago for a second. And at the time, this quote, it really rang true. It really hit a chord for me. Again, it said the only way to grow is by stepping outside of your comfort zone. So some of the coolest, the best things I have ever done in my life have been times when I have stepped outside of my comfort zone. Some examples of this. The first time I ever went out of the country, I went to Costa Rica. And I was right after freshman year of college, I believe. And I signed up for this program that was a volunteer international public service program. We went and we set up medical clinics in villages in these remote parts of Costa Rica and Panama. And I packed up my bag and I said bye to my family. It was the summer between, semesters of college. And I went and I didn't know anybody and we just set up these clinics and I went on this experience that ended up being completely life-changing and completely sparked this travel bug for me and this call to service. And when I came home, I remember having reverse culture shock where I came home and I took a hot shower and I cried afterwards because I had been taking these freezing cold showers and bucket showers and we were really in the dirt and really trying to help people. And as a 19-year-old, it was this reverse culture shock where I was like, oh my God, I'm such a spoiled brat. All of these things that we have, we shouldn't take them for granted. And that was truly one of these moments in my life that felt like it was completely outside of my comfort zone to go there and to do this. And then to come back home was really life-changing for me because I came back with a different mindset. And then again, stepping outside of my comfort zone in college, I was on semester at sea. It's this, you can go for different amounts of time, but I went for 3 months to live on a boat, a ship, and we traveled from Canada to Spain and then 9 other countries throughout the Mediterranean Sea. And I was the only person from my college, let alone I didn't know anyone else that was on this ship. And my mom, I think, took me to Canada so I could get on the boat. And then we got on the boat, and I knew I was going to be living with these people for 3 months, but I had no idea who any of them were. And that was one of the most, life-changing experiences I've ever had because of all of the cultural experiences that I had, all of the learning and the discovering and traveling and exploring. And when I was on that ship, I knew I had to come back home and I had to do my senior individualized project, which was kind of like a dissertation type capstone thing for Kalamazoo College, if anyone's listening. And I read this woman's blog, and she wrote about her life story and how she was adopted from India and how she found out later in life, around the age of 30, that she was actually stolen from her family in India, and unbeknownst to her family who adopted her, but it was something that she wanted to go back and find her bio mom, and she wanted to tell her story. And so I read this woman's blog, and something clicked inside my head, and I was like, oh my God, I have to go meet her and tell her story, help her tell her story. And so I ended up flying to Florida at least 2 times to meet her and her family and interview them and create a documentary film about this woman. Her name is Pushpa. And then we traveled to India together, and we found her biological mom, and we traveled around India a little bit to just kind of experience, but then we went to Calcutta and in the slums to find and meet her bio mom. Her bio dad had passed, and it was just something that, again, completely changed my life, because I stepped out of my comfort zone and I listened to this call and this blog post I read when I was on a ship in probably like Egypt or something, and decided that I was going to go to India with this woman. Another time that I stepped outside of my comfort zone was when I decided to become a yoga teacher. And it was the same year that I posted this Facebook memory. And I think that I posted this quote after becoming a yoga teacher, after feeling the inspiration of what yoga brought into my life. But when I decided to become a yoga teacher, it was scary because I did not like talking in front of people. I was new to yoga. I hadn't been practicing that long, and I would have to drive across the country in my car from Kalamazoo, Michigan to around the Phoenix, Arizona area-ish, and again, go with people I didn't know and live in a home with people I didn't know and stay there for a month and do yoga 2 times a day for a month. And I decided to do it. And again, it's not anything I ever regretted. Instead, it's something that completely changed my life, and I still teach yoga to this day. I taught you 2 yoga classes this morning, and all of these moments of stepping outside of my comfort zone have been things that have truly changed my life. So now, 7 years later, looking at this quote, it is a quote that I have heard a million times over, but 7 years ago, it came at exactly the right time. Have you guys ever experienced that, where you hear a quote the exact day and time that you need to hear it? That's how I felt about this. And it really has been like a little bit of this like anthem for my life for the last 7 years. It's a little bit of a mantra. And so at that time, when I wrote this quote on Facebook and when I was a brand new yoga teacher, I was in this emotionally abusive relationship with a man that I'm seeing a lot of names pop up. Again, this is a huge outside of my comfort zone thing I'm doing right now because everyone I know can see this, and some of you may know this person. But I was in this emotionally abusive and manipulative relationship that was very unhealthy, but I wanted the comfort of a relationship. I wanted to feel loved. I wanted to feel like I was enough. I wanted to feel desired and needed and pretty and smart and worthy of love. And it turns out all of these things were already true. They were already inside of me, right? But I just needed to give them to myself. I did not need them from a partner, and especially in a partner that was not going to treat me respectfully. And so I just needed to love myself first. My dad used to tell me this over and over again as a teenager. I think especially because I was madly in love with my high school boyfriend. Again, some of you know this person. But my dad used to always say that you have to figure out who you are first. You have to figure out yourself before you commit to this other person or you get married. So Dad, if you're listening to this ever, you were right. And it's been a long ass journey to figure myself out and to commit, really truly commit to that radical self-love. But I feel like I'm closer. I feel like I have begun to accept myself and accept my imperfections, and I also know that I am going to always be evolving and always be transforming, always learning more, and change is our only constant in life. So when I saw this memory pop up on Facebook today, 7 years ago, again, stepping outside of the comfort zone, I thought, hell yeah, keep listening to that message, Sarah. Keep doing things outside of your comfort zone. Keep being weird. Keep sharing your truth even when it feels vulnerable as fuck like it does right now on my private personal Facebook page. Keep holding true to your energetic boundaries and your values even when it's hard and people try to break them. And just keep being your authentic self. So it was a beautiful reminder. And part of what I decided to do with my life was become a coach. And again, this all kind of started back then when I started stepping outside of the comfort zone. But I have developed a career as a coach, and I coach women with chronic illness. I coach them on mindset, on lifestyle, on limiting beliefs, releasing limiting beliefs. I talk about food and nutrition. I love to talk about emotional and energetic healing and many other things. So I asked in my Facebook today what people thought a health coach did or does. So I'm curious if you guys are listening now or listening to a recording later, what do you guys think a health coach does? On the broadest of terms, I help people achieve their wellness goals. More specifically, I have worked with women with chronic migraines, with narcolepsy, with chronic fatigue, with food sensitivities, with osteoporosis, with Hashimoto's, with celiac disease, with childhood traumas, with sexual abuse, and many other things. And I help them set and achieve those specific goals, the things that they are seeking and searching solutions for. And I bring my expertise as a health coach, certified health coach, as a certified yoga teacher, meditation teacher, bioenergetic practitioner. I work as an energy healer, vibrational crystal healer, certified tarot card reader, and Ho'oponopono practitioner. Ho'oponopono is an ancient Hawaiian practice of forgiveness, and I take these things and I bundle them up with love, and I bring them into my work, and I bring them to my clients, and in my brand and business, Autoimmune Tribe. So here's me stepping outside of my comfort zone today, telling everyone on my personal page how I've stepped outside of my comfort zone, how I commit to continue to step outside of my comfort zone, and to bring you some of my truths today. One of my truths is not one that everyone is going to like, but my truth for you is that Google is not the almighty, all-knowing. I know, right? It's crazy. Google doesn't know everything. You can't have a relationship with Google. I guess you could, right? That would be weird. So you can do a shit ton of Google searching, but you're going to find all sorts of contradicting information, and you are going to find things that make no sense, and then you are going to find things that people have made up, and you're going to find other things that are from reputable sources, and you're going to find other stuff that looks like it's from a reputable source, but it's totally not. They just have a good website, right? So this is why you need a health or wellness coach, even a mindset coach. This is why we all need a coach. I have a coach, and I am a coach, and that's okay too. Also, your doctor, and some of you might actually be doctors, and I don't mean any offense by this, but your doctor doesn't have time for you, or maybe doesn't make time for you. And I truly believe that our healthcare, medical care system in the United States is extremely broken. I've been working and volunteering and involved in it for a long time, but I've been really, really let down and really frustrated by how doctors behave these days. And again, that's open for you guys to disagree with, but this is based on my personal experience. And I find that the majority of doctors, again, not everyone, majority of doctors I've seen in my life make me wait at least a half hour, if not longer, in their wait room, and then they see me for 10 minutes, and then I usually leave with a prescription that I have no idea what it does and what the side effects are, and then that's it. Maybe they make me schedule another appointment, and that's it. They don't know me. They don't know anything about me. They don't know that I lost a brother to suicide. They don't know that I've been in an emotionally abusive relationship. They don't know that I've experienced sexual trauma. They don't know that I've traveled to 17 countries, right? They don't know that I work as a coach for women with autoimmune disease. They don't know that I have hormonal imbalance. They don't ask these questions. They don't get to know you. And I get fired freaking up about this because it's frustrating. And so this is why I also believe that people need to work with coaches, and why we also need more people to become health and wellness coaches. Because there are a shit ton of people in the world who are settling with fine when they could be doing freaking amazing. They settle for fine. So how many people do you know that have perfect health? Like, you see this person, and there's this person in your life, whether it's an acquaintance or a family member or a best friend, and you're like, yeah, like they are super healthy and they're super happy, right? They're not healthy and then they then sacrifice their happiness to be healthy, but they're happy and they're healthy. And they have this wonderful lifestyle. How many people do you actually know that fit that? Probably not very many, right? Maybe a couple, maybe a handful. And I think it's pretty astounding that so many of us, people that we know, myself included, back in the past, settle for fine, or we let these things that really don't seem like a big deal, but then they're bothering us, like a little symptom, like every time you eat you get bloated, for example, and you just kind of let that go. And then over time it's like this new normal for you, that you're like, well, yeah, I just get bloated every time I eat, when it doesn't have to be a normal thing for you, and it's certainly not a normal response from your body, except for when your body's trying to protect itself. So my point is that there are so many people walking around in this universe that are struggling with health issues because of many other factors in our lives that, again, we have some control over, and other things we don't have complete control over. And we need to help each other. We need more wellness coaches, we need more health coaches, and we need those coaches to also be working with practitioners in doctors' offices and in hospitals, so that the doctor who doesn't have shit time for you can refer you to a health coach who is going to get to know your name, your dog's name, your child's name, what foods you like, what foods you don't like, how much you sleep, what your stool type is, and how many times you're shitting a day. These things are important, okay? So I highly recommend that you hire a coach. And it doesn't have to be me. I'm not promoting myself as a coach here today. But I highly recommend that you guys hire a coach if you are struggling with wellness issues. They can help you navigate your doctors and your specialists and all of the issues, the symptoms you may be experiencing. And if you are a coach and you're listening to this and you want to create a business that fills your soul, that gives you purpose and makes you amazing money, then I want you guys to consider my brand new program that I am hosting through my business, Autoimmune Tribe. It's called Unicorn Healers Unite, Unleashing Your Gifts and Passions as a Wellness Coach. And you don't have to be certified in anything to join us. It's simply a 4-week, month-long program for current and aspiring coaches to build their confidence, to gain clarity, to brainstorm unique healing programs, and tap into their inner unicorn healer and become a client magnet. Some of you might be like, unicorn, what? And part of the reason I included that in the title of my program is because I think that we all need to bring our weird self forward. We need to be authentic. We need to tap into that inner unicorn specialness, glitteriness within all of us, so that we can use our story and our authenticity and our life experience in our coaching practice. So I'm just going to leave you guys with this today. How are you going to step outside of your comfort zone today, tomorrow, and the next day so you can keep living your best freaking life? Thank you so much for joining me. I love you guys, and I'll be back soon.